How's it going, everybody? Guess I can take this off my head now. So, been a while. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm hanging in there. So, I've gotten a lot of requests to say hi and let everybody know how things are going. You can tell I've changed a little bit. I now have a couple extra pair of eyes. Turns out I was getting a lot of crazy headaches, and I would feel dizzy and stuff, and it turned out that I was having problems seeing things far and like reading. I could still see it, but it would get blurry, and then like things far away, as I would come up on them, I could see them, but they still looked blurry. They didn't clear up, and I didn't realize that it was that bad, until I went in for an exam. And she starts going, well, is this better? Is this better? And I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. I felt like I was Iron Man. I had superpowers or some shit. It was unreal. I was like, oh my God, I can see in like HD. So, yeah, it was incredible. And so I ended up getting a pair of specs, and they're, I've had them for a couple of months now, and I still feel weird. Everybody says, oh, yeah, you get used to it, you forget they're on your face. And I don't, because now when I'm looking, I not only see what's through the glasses, but I see the glasses themselves, and then I see peripherally out from the sides, and it's still bizarre. I still haven't gotten in that comfy zone where it's like, okay, I'm wearing glasses, cool, I don't know. I guess I take longer than the rest. I'm the slow bus. You all know that. So there's that, and I guess I'll dive into the meat and potatoes of this thing. So obviously, as everybody knows, I haven't made a video in a long time, and so I wasn't real sure that I'd do any more videos after I did the last one, simply because of platform issues and yada yada. But then I thought, well, I'll just do some sort of a live thing where just kind of say hi and go through the road, or down the road rather, and just keep it more of like a hey, how's everybody doing kind of scenario, and just everybody interchat with at any rate. So I had an idea that I might go ahead and do something. October the 17th, I was driving in North Carolina to deliver a load to an auto. I can't remember now whether it was Advanced Auto or AutoZone. I want to say it was Advanced Auto, but it's been a while and my memory's kind of scrambled eggs. But I was only like 10 minutes away from delivering. And I got a phone call from my ex, and so hello, and I heard somebody else's voice, and I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. And she said, my name is something, I don't remember who it was, and I'm here with Alex, and we're at the hospital. And so I was like, well, okay, what the hell, what's happened with my ex? Is she okay? What happened? What's going on? I started to have that panic moment, and she said, no, Alex is here. It's not her. My teenage daughter was discovered by my ex dead on a couch. I had to stop there and take a minute. So my ex is a level 2 trauma nurse, so she knows what she's doing, and she had done everything that she could do to try to revive her, and it just didn't happen. And so I kind of just went into shock, and I got to my load, and when I got there, I talked to the guard, and he said, well, we hear all kinds of excuses. It's probably not going to help you. And that was not the thing to have told me. So I pull into this thing, and now I'm pissed off. I'm in shock. It still hasn't really hit me at this point. I'm still just trying to process the phone call. And I go into the receiver to turn in my load, and that's when it started to hit me. And I just kind of freaked out. And he was trying to, Misty, he was trying to listen to me and understand as best he could. As soon as I told him, he said, here, back into this dock, give me these bills. We're gonna take care of this right now. And so luckily the security guard was way off base. Not only did they back me into a dock, but there were two ladies. One of them is obviously upper management of this whole establishment. All of a sudden they come walking out to the truck, and I'm on the phone. I don't even remember who I was on the phone with, but I was a complete mess. And they came up and they said, listen, we know what's going on. We're taking everyone that's on a forklift and getting them to your truck. You'll be unloaded before we walk away. And I was trying to thank him and talk on the phone at the same time, and all this is running through my head. So within minutes, literally a handful of minutes, she looks at me and she says, okay, that's your light, you can go. We're concerned about you driving. We'd be happy to take you anywhere you want to go. We'll call you a cab. We'll cover the car. I mean, these people were over the top amazing. I mean, clearly this wasn't a story. They could obviously tell that this was legit, and I was in freak mode. Now, I've been trucking a long time, as you all know, so even finding out news like that, what's weird is, since I've been trucking, I've learned of 3 different deaths in my family while I was in a truck. And so it's just become kind of commonplace that I deal with everything in my truck, happy, sad, tragic, whatever. So I told him, no, it's fine. My ex, where I need to go, is only 2.5 hours up the road, which is incredible, because up until this very load, I had only been that close to them on a load with this company one other time. That's it. One other time. I had never had another load that was that close to them. So the fact that it came and I was right there was amazing. I'm assuming there was a hand from God dealt in that particular area. So at any rate, I got up there, and that was the 17th, which I can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday. I think it was a Monday. So I got there, my son picked me up, and I went there and start talking with everyone to find out, what happened. So from Monday to Friday, I found out that she had passed, and then Friday we had a funeral for her. And I kind of lost my mind at that point. I'm trying to describe a moment that I had, but then I'll be done with this video, so I'll just go over it and just say that everything was the best that it could be. The people at King and Abbott in Rutherford, North Carolina, they were incredible, absolutely incredible. They worked with us. neither one of us were prepared to cover the expenses of a funeral. And so we legitimately didn't have it. And the funeral company there, they said, look, we'll work it out. Don't stress over that. This is a bad enough situation. We'll take care of that. And as time comes, and they did, they've let us continuously work to get that paid down. And I'm still trying to work on that. It's another thing that's difficult. I'm not asking anybody for anything. That's not at all it. So don't think that. It's just when it's over your head, and that's still hanging over your head. It kind of, it's in my bill list, and so I see that every month, and it's hard because I kind of get to relive this every month. More than once, trust me. So it's been a very, very difficult road. Let's see. After that, I went to my doctors and told them that I am not mentally clicking right anymore. So I got put on some additional medication to try to help me handle this, and I couldn't stop driving. As soon as I stopped driving, it would hit me, and so I just drive nonstop. That's all I could do. And it's only been over November, December, January, February, March, 5 months, and I still feel like it was yesterday. Oh, Misty, relax. I'm not scared. What is the matter with you? I don't know what her deal is. So, it's affected everything. I couldn't do YouTube. I couldn't really talk to friends, and I had a lot of folks from the channel that had found out about it and sent me well wishes, and I tried to respond as best I could, but like I said, I haven't been the same ever since. And so last thing I wanted to do was bounce online and start doing videos. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I have few very close people in my life that were with me and helped me out. And let me mention this too. BWI, from the minute they found out, they were like, take the truck, we'll book you a plane, just anything. There was never any question. They never said, how long are you going to take off? Do we need to come get your truck? Nothing like that. They just go. You call us if you need us, we're here. They sent a huge flower display. They had made a donation to the funeral home, and then they had also took up a collection from some of the other drivers, and they also had put some money together for the funeral home, went directly to the funeral home. And so just every single thing that they could do, they did. And so I'm very indebted to them. They, at this point, keep in mind, I'd only been here a couple of weeks, if that. They didn't really know how I drive. They didn't really know much about me at that point. I'm just a new driver, and all this happens. And with their reaction, you would have thought that I had been with them since the day they opened the doors. it wasn't the case at all. And so I have an enormous amount of gratitude. The people that own this company, their name are Brian and April, and their husband and wife, and yeah, they're just amazing people. I mean, seriously, I wasn't thinking at that point that it would go over very well. At that point, I was thinking I'll just quit, and they can come get the truck. I don't care. I was so out of my own mind, and it was nothing like that. So I want to make sure that if they happen to watch this, that they know how insanely grateful I am. So I'm glad I was able to bring that out. Sorry, I'm doing my best to not lose it. So after the funeral, I left the following day to go back on the road. I got the extra meds and just stayed driving. Trying to think. I've had some other things come up with, personal, that has just, it's like as soon as I try to get over one hump, I'd have another one hit and another one hit, and it's like you get to where you're not sure how much your own mind can withstand. And I know this is kind of a depressing video to watch, but I figured at least I owed it to those of you that have been with me since I started this channel to let you know exactly what had happened. And so I'd have to say within the past month or so, maybe 2 months, a month and a half, somewhere in that neighborhood, I don't know, I started to kind of come around. I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to do a video on this or not, and I had tried and failed. And Lynn B had sent me an email and had said, you can just hop on and say hi. Everybody just wants to make sure you're still breathing and stuff. And so that was about it was a week ago that I actually found it, but she had sent it like, I don't know, a few weeks prior to that. I just didn't see it. So at any rate, I had emailed her and I said I would try to do something. And so I decided that today I would give it a shot again. And if I lost it, I'd just stop the video and cut that part out, edit it, and try to put together something that was tangible, that you could say, okay, that makes sense, instead of sitting here blubbering on the screen. I don't want to do that. So yeah, that's been the extent of it. I've been in Wisconsin now for a month and a half, somewhere in the neighborhood. And believe it or not, that has been very difficult weather-wise. But honestly, it's been a real blessing. It's a dedicated thing. I've been running Fleet Farm freight, and it's been great because I can just come to the terminal, grab my load, and go. And so I'm able to just not have to really deal with a lot of, here's my bills and wait to get unloaded and yada yada. I can just kind of go and stay moving, and then when I'm done, I'm back at the DC. I get to sleep at the terminal, and that's that. So it's made it to where I can stay busy but not have to be doing a lot more than I normally would, just to kind of give myself a pattern, which I like. I sometimes I need consistency, and the craziness that is OTR, and going constantly different places, and sometimes you just need a break. And when all this happened, and trying to get over it and everything, this has been very helpful to be able to just know that I can just run this and be done. So it's been great. And I'll tell you what, since I have been up here for so long, I have gotten a chance to really enjoy what Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa, the food that they have up here. Oh my God. Oh, y'all, I'm telling you, they have food up here that I had never had, and different kinds of desserts and stuff, and I was like, oh, this place is fantastic. and I'll tell you, for the most part, the people in Wisconsin are so friendly. I think it's because it's so close to Canada, maybe it's bled down, because they're, for the most part, everybody's just really nice, and you still have your jerks, but that's going to be anywhere you go. But for the most part, most of the people here are just legitimately really nice. And, when you're on the road, that's great. Like a lot of the driving that we do here is highway. You'll be on the interstate for a little bit, but 80% of the time that we're driving here is on back roads, highways, in very small little towns. And, you get accustomed to people running up on you, and then they want to go around you or cut in front of you, or you come to a stop sign and they want to make sure that everybody else goes but you, and it's just not like that. A lot of cars, they'll look up at me and like, go ahead. And if I have to make a turn, a lot of these turns are sharp, especially when you get to these little towns. They're sharp, but they know that it takes a lot of extra room for this truck to make the turn, and they're accustomed to seeing trucks turn, and they'll back up. Now, that's not something I'm used to. Normally, people will sit there like, well, you need to figure out a way to go around me. But for the most part, people here will be like, oh, there's a truck. We'll back up. We'll get out of the way. We'll do what we got to do. So, yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, I'm never really in one place for a length of time that I can kind of get to know the mannerisms of the people that are there. Normally I'm there, I'm gone. I don't even really think about it, to be real honest. I get so accustomed to everyone's an asshole once they're behind the wheel that it becomes a shocking moment when you get to a point where people are, you can see that they're taking a second out of their own life to give you a moment to do what you need to do. And that's really cool. It's really appreciated. It's not like this is an exceptionally hard job, but it can get tricky when you're in small towns like that, and the streets, when they were built, they weren't designed to have a 53-foot trailer go swinging around and making a turn. So some of the stoplights are like right on the corners, and you've got to go into all the lanes in order to cut back and make this turn. So, it requires some extra room, and they're just really, really polite about letting that happen. So I really appreciate that. So that's pretty much the extent of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as if I'm gonna try to make a lot of videos anymore. Ironically, I'm still getting a lot of responses on some of the older videos I had done, which is nice to see, because YouTube was so far from my mind. I was done. I just didn't care. And, I get these occasional messages from people that had watched videos for a while with me, some who had just noticed them for the first time. So, there were moments where I would get reminders that, all this stuff that I had done is still up, and people are still watching it. So, it helps. It helps. Every little positive comment, helps get you back. And so I really appreciate that there were a lot of folks that, took the time to check on me and say hello and send messages through YouTube. So I wanted to say thank you. I genuinely appreciated it. And ironically, although I didn't care about doing anything with YouTube, every time I'd see a message pop up, I'd check it immediately. I guess you kind of reach for anything that's positive when you've had something that's that intense. I'd have to say that at this point right now, I'm definitely much better than I was. However, I'm still having issues. I'll see something and it hits me, and I'm just mentally crap for the rest of the day, and I have to kind of try to get myself back to where I was. So I'm still dealing with it. They say as time goes on, it gets easier, and I'm having a hard time with that particular scenario, because it hasn't gotten easier. I've just tried to find different ways of not collapsing around it. There was a lot that had happened between my daughter and I that I wished hadn't. A lot of hurt feelings on both sides, and for her to have left the way she did, that weighs on me every day. I may not think about it all day, every day now, but there's definitely not a single day that goes by that it doesn't cross my mind, and I try to talk myself off that ledge. But at any rate, I felt like I wanted to try to make this video finally and let everybody know that I'm hanging in there, and thank everyone for the well wishes, and I want to thank BWI, and I believe it was Abbott and King and Abbott, I can't remember. But the funeral home there in Rutherford, because they were wonderful as well, and they've been incredible. So I just wanted to make sure I thanked everybody, even though I don't know whether someone will watch it. So yeah, that's it. And I'm going to be in Wisconsin for a little bit, and then come April, I'm going to take some time off and just kind of gather my thoughts and get away from the truck for a while. Just find something that's relaxing. Maybe go to a park or something somewhere. But I'm just going to take some time off. I've been working really hard, and I've had some other things pop up that have caused additional stress, and I've had to deal with that, and it's just been a lot. And so I could use some time to chill for a minute and kind of refocus and continue this healing process. It's a journey, and one I definitely could have lived without, but now that it's here, I've got to deal with it, and it's a daily thing. So like I said, I'm not sure about what I'll do with videos, but yeah, maybe I can make a few. I don't know. I don't really want to make any promises, but I needed to make this one at least and let everyone know. So I'm glad I was able to finally get this done, get it edited and posted up. And those who have watched me for a while will want to see it. So I figure I owe you all that. You've stayed with me through a lot. Those that have been with me for a while, we've been through a lot. So until I come up with another video, maybe we just go for a ride or something. I really want to thank everyone for hanging with me, and I've lost a bunch of subscribers, which honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't make money off of YouTube, and so these videos are strictly for those who I feel like I want to be able to reach out and thank and keep in touch with. So until the next one, thank you so much. Catch you on the next go around. Bye bye.